Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of my Road to 2000 FIDE. In this series I'm going to analyze and cover the games that I play for my chess club in the KNSB and RSB, so the Dutch Chess Federation and the Rotterdam Chess Federation. And I'm going to just analyze the games that I played, these games that are being shown right now. The first 7 are played last year, in the last season, and games beyond that, so the games that are going to be released in a few weeks. Those are going to be of this season. And the goal is, of course, to get to 2000 FIDE, which is obviously a very difficult goal. I mentioned it before, but 2000 FIDE is a lot different from 2000 Rapid on chess.com. Players in FIDE, 2000 FIDE are usually much stronger than 2000 ELO on chess.com Rapid. So, I have the game here in front of me right now. I was playing with the black pieces, and as you can see in the bottom right section, I found a brilliant move, which is nice, a few great moves. I played as a 2300, and we did a very good job of playing this game. It's a very interesting game. Arguably this was my best game last season in the KNSB, because my opponent was also a very highly rated opponent. I think he was like 1900, 1950, something like that, so close to 2000. And this is the second brilliant I found, I think, in the 6 games of the KNSB that I played last year. So 2 brilliant moves in 6 games is not bad. And we're just gonna analyze this game. Let's start at the beginning. He started with e4, I started with c6. Obviously I played the Caro-Kann. Once again, very familiar with this, of course. d4, d5, and f3. So my opponent playing the fantasy variation. And I was like, okay, here we go, a very sharp game. Usually this leads to very, very difficult games for me. I should study this a little bit more, because I usually get into a bit of trouble if I get into the fantasy variation as black. I'm not sure, I can look it up once, what my win and loss rate is against the fantasy with the black pieces, but I think it's honestly very bad. So not sure, but let's see. We played we played dxe4. And here I was kind of surprised, because I was playing a classical game, of course, 90 minutes for each player, and my opponent decided to play knight c3, which is known as a gambit, of course, gambiting a pawn and trying to get a quick development. But obviously, when you are playing a classical game, you don't expect a gambit, so it can be very tricky and it can be very difficult. But usually when you're playing a classical game, you don't play this. You play this when you're playing a blitz game online, because that is when opponents are easily mistaking or moving or missing one move that is going to win or lose the game. So knight c3, exf3, knight xf3, and bishop g4. You got to be careful always in this line where you can play bishop g4 in some situations, because if the bishop were on c4, you can sacrifice on f7. So my opponent went bishop c4, which is an inaccuracy because the wrong move order, of course. And here, of course, I know this trick, so I played e6, which is just a great move. The point is, there's no more sacrifice. My bishop is kind of nice because it pins the knight here. I can probably get some relatively quick development and castle, and hopefully play a decent game. So we are in move 6, and I'm already up -1, so a little bit better. I have an extra pawn. But I've said this before, but in situations like this, it isn't always clear how you are going to take advantage of the advantage. I mean, it is -1, but very quickly it could go back to equal if you play this wrong. So it isn't always easy to take advantage of the minor advantage. And let's see, my opponent played castles, which is the best move. I played knight f6, not the best move, but it's okay, 0.75. He played bishop f4, I played bishop d7, or knight d7, of course. And at this point I'm still doing quite well. I'm up a pawn, I have nice development, I can bring out my dark square bishop, I can castle, and we're doing just okay. This bishop is kind of on the wrong diagonal right now. You should probably redirect it to this diagonal. If I ever get castled, you can kind of try to get some sort of battery and something like that. So he went queen d3, which is also not the best thing, I think, because yeah, like I mentioned, I think you should probably pull your bishop back. The best move would have been to go a4. Okay, yeah. I mean, the bishop here is just probably just a little bit wrong, but okay. Queen d3, b5. Okay. So yeah, at this point, another crucial point in the game. b5 obviously is a bit of a daring move because the idea is there is an idea to sacrifice here. Doesn't have to necessarily mean it's the best idea, but there is definitely an idea to sacrifice here. And as you can already see, my opponent decided to sacrifice with the bishop. And yeah, I mean, that one of the things, before you play b5, you have to realize that there are ideas to sacrifice, which I kind of saw. And I saw this line. I saw bishop x b5, and then I saw c x d5, knight x d5, or b5, and then I saw knight d5. Which is very important because obviously what he was trying to do probably is get some sort of knight c7 in, trying to fork me or something. I spoke to my opponent afterwards, and he said that he saw this too, and he said that he thought knight d6 and bishop takes back, that this was very good. Which arguably it was, I mean, at least decent, because obviously this is not bad. It is probably not the best thing, but it's also not bad. And the reason why is because he cuts off my king. And as you can see in the remainder of this game, this cutting off my king is going to be a very big problem for me the entire game through. So yeah, I mean, I told him I thought the sacrifice didn't work because of knight d5, and he said, okay, yeah, I did see knight d6 and then putting my bishop here on this strong diagonal, and he said that he thought this was the best thing for him. Yeah, okay, so fair enough, but yeah, okay, so I went queen b6, he went bishop a3, I went bishop x f3, and here's another very nice moment. Try to find the winning tactic here. It's very nice. It starts off with bishop x f3, of course, and if he takes back with the rook, it's a mistake. If he takes back with the queen, it is a mistake. I mean, not a mistake, it's the best move, but this hangs just a straight up pawn. So in this position, I mean, honestly, almost everybody would probably take this back with the rook. I mean, you don't really want to lose this pawn for no reason. However, there's just a simple tactic here that he missed, which is knight e5, a very nice move. The reason is it is a fork and the pawn is pinned, so it's just the e5 square is simply not being attacked by the pawn, so I can just simply go there and fork the pieces. And yeah, at this point I was up 4 points according to the engine, so -4, and this might even be the highest advantage I had in the entire game, because my advantage is gonna be it's gonna dip a little bit again, and he's gonna be better a little bit later. So or at least better. He's gonna become less. It's not gonna be as worse as it is right now. So okay, so very nice tactic. Rook f3. Of course, he should have taken with the queen, which is very difficult to see. I mean, probably nobody would really do that. So there you go. So I managed to fork him. He decided to play queen e4, which is okay. I decided to take the rook, of course, and now I went rook d8. And yeah, so the biggest problem I have in this position, something that was taunting me the entire game, is the fact that this bishop is cutting off my king. I mean, obviously, like I mentioned, he had this idea in mind to keep the bishop here and prevent me from castling like pretty much ever, which is obviously pretty good actually, because obviously it is very difficult to deal with and very annoying. And yeah, there's that. So let's see. Yeah, I was definitely up a lot of material here, but it was not over yet, and by any means. And arguably, if I look at this game, I think my opponent was probably. I mean, it's funny because I won and I found some very nice moves, but I arguably think that my opponent is the better player. I mean, he found some ideas that I didn't even consider. So if you go all the way back to this sacrifice, I mean, I saw the sacrifice and I saw the fact that he could bring his knight in and try to fork me, but I completely missed the idea of knight d6 and then keeping his bishop on this diagonal. That's something that I completely missed, which he saw, and he over-evaluated as good. So he made a mistake by evaluating that as a very good situation, which it was not as good as he thought it was. The sacrificing of the piece didn't really wasn't enough for him to the sacrifice wasn't enough for him to keep the advantage, or at least get an advantage. So that is something that he definitely did pretty well. Yeah, like I mentioned, arguably I think he's a better player. Honestly, if I would have played him again, I think if I played him like 5 or 6 times, I think he would probably win like 4 or 5 times, or maybe 3 or 4, and then maybe a draw, and then 1 or 2 wins for me. On the long run, I think he would win more against me than I win against him. But you know, chess is a difficult game. There's a lot of things that you can. There's a lot of things you have to take into account, and yeah. So there's that. He played rook e1, and here I played knight f6. Another pretty nice move. Rook e1 is of course fine, but knight e6 is nice, because the reason why it's nice, it attacks the queen with tempo. If you move the queen, I win this pawn. It's really that simple. There's 2 attackers, there's only 1 defender. You can't do this because it's not defended. So he loses another pawn, and after the game he told me that he was pretty mad at himself that he allowed that, and yeah, understandable. I mean, it were some minor mistakes that he made throughout the game that allowed kind of a nice advantage for me. Some tactical oversights here and there, and yeah, it happens. I mean, it's difficult. Chess is a difficult game. You can miss some things every now and again, and yeah. So at this point, you would say, okay, this video is going to be ended in 5 minutes probably, right? I mean, I think all of you would think, okay, this is going to be 5 minutes and the game is over. I mean, it's going to be an easy conversion. You are up 4 points according to the engine, 4 points in material, rook versus a minor piece, and a pawn. So yeah, actually just a rook against 1 pawn. So yeah, that's not at all the case. Gonna be honest with you, that's not at all the case. Actually, I can win the pawn back right now. So if after taking the pawn there, I'm up exactly 1 entire rook, because yeah, it's 3 pawns, 2 minor pieces, 3 minor pieces against 3 minor pieces, and I'm up a rook. But it's not that easy, because first of all, what would you take with here? Would you take with the rook or the queen? It's a difficult choice. I mean, the rook is kind of tricky, because if you take with the rook, there are some discovered rook attacks, which would be quite strong. But the queen is pretty straightforward, and it allows your queen to be more active. Maybe you can try to trade off queen, something like that. So what did I do? I took with the queen, which is not the best move. It is not the worst thing ever, but it is not the best move. It's now minus 3.7 after king h1. Which is going to be a fatal mistake that my opponent made later in the game. He should have maybe gone king g2. Yeah, I don't know. King g2 is not the best thing apparently. King h1 is apparently still the best thing according to the engine. So the reason why you shouldn't go here is because I can force a queen trade probably. Right, yeah. And why wouldn't you go something like this is because it is probably just a little bit too prone for attacking the yeah. So maybe now I can go somewhere here and, like, I don't know, maybe something. So okay, he went king h1. I went queen d7, and the reason why I went queen d7 is because there's already an annoying check here, and with the check and also the bishop, it is just, I mean, it's looking kind of, it's not that easy to defend this position actually. It looks like black is just completely better. But imagine this bishop not being here. If the bishop wouldn't be here and I would be able to castle, this would be an easy game. Easy. Just easy. There's nothing you can do wrong there. The only thing you could do wrong there is hang some sort of mate on g7. But if you are just bring your queen, you can never really do that. So, yeah. Yeah, the bishop being there is something that became very difficult for me throughout the remainder of this game. At this point, we are at move 20, and it's going to be a lot of shuffling from now on. I'm probably going to go through it relatively quickly, but there's going to be another section to this game, another interesting part of this game. He went rook g1, attacking the pawn on g7, and yeah, I mean, how do you even defend it, honestly? I mean, you can go here, but that just looks awful. It is apparently the best move, but, you know, or not the best, but one of the best. I went queen d2, he went queen b5, I went knight d7. And I kind of figured if he just takes here, I don't really mind. I mean, I'm gonna try to maybe check and take this pawn or something. Maybe try to trade off queens. Maybe I can somehow, you know, maybe I can somehow fork the king and the rook. So yeah, my opponent probably also thought that, and he thought, okay, rook xg7 is probably not good. So he went queen a4. I went queen e3, trying to take the pawn here on f3. He went rook g3. I went queen e1 check. He went king g2. I went queen d2 check. He went king h3. I went queen h6 check. He went king g2. So a little bit of shuffling, like I mentioned. And here I have a problem. The problem that I have here is that he's threatening to go queen b4 and try to deliver some sort of checkmate. So I have to somehow find a way to prevent that. So I went queen d2, king h3. And now I went queen e3, which is a minor mistake because of, I mean, this is not the best move apparently, queen b4. The best move would have been, okay, the best move would have been f4 first. Yeah, okay. And then I have to probably, yeah, you know, get my queen somewhere. So queen e3 already a minor inaccuracy, and now my advantage gone from -4 to -2.8. So my opponent might have gotten a little bit of hope here. He went queen b4, which is okay. The reason, the idea of queen b4 is of course to deliver a checkmate on e7. And I went queen c5, which is a brilliant move, which is a sacrifice of the queen. I mean, it sacrifices a knight in the end of the line, of course, because after this, and this, he wins a knight. But then I have maybe this move, and if you take here, I can take here. And apparently this is just slightly, even though it is just slightly, but slightly winning for black. Maybe in hindsight, my opponent should have went into this line. I mean, it is probably winning for black, but it is very difficult. There might have been a draw here in it for him. Yeah. I mean, something like this, trying to keep everything together. I can maybe castle, but then you go here, which is just, this is losing, right? Yeah, mate. So you can't castle, so I have to probably, I don't know, go, I don't know, something like, what do you even do here? I mean, honestly, this is also a pretty strong threat. I mean, probably something like this even, so. No, that's also not good. So like I mentioned, there are enough, okay, so I have to just go king up and bring my rook. So there are enough ideas here for him that might have just won him the game, honestly. So, or at least drew the game. So in hindsight, my opponent should have maybe gone into this, but my opponent didn't want this. He just went queen a4 again, and now it allowed me to, I went queen e3 again, which is not the best thing, but okay. It allowed me to get back into another structure. So he went queen b4 again, and maybe he was hoping that I repeated the position and got into a draw. But I found one other idea to defend mate here, which is the better way to defend mate. Actually, I should have already done that here. But I went queen h6 and king g2 and queen f6. And queen f6 protects this pawn, at least somewhat. Not really, because if he takes right now, I can't take because it's actually, okay, it's check, so I can't. So I can. So it does defend the pawn. It defends the pawn and the mate at the same time. And yeah, even though it looks like I'm cocooning here pretty badly, which I am, I kind of hold on in this position. I mean, I'm still up a rook, even though positionally I'm doing pretty bad, and he has a pretty strong, battery, and at the same time he's looking at bringing his rook over. Maybe somehow he's not doing entirely bad, and I mean, this rook is just not in the game at all. So having a rook on the board which is not participating in the game is not a very good thing, so, you know. So in this position, I was still feeling quite confident that I was going to convert this, even though I felt the pressure. I definitely felt pressure. I felt like, okay, I'm doing all right. I'm still not doing very badly, but I definitely felt a bit of pressure because I was like, okay, he's being very annoying, and yeah, I haven't won anything yet. I mean, I still have to finish this game. It's not easy yet. I still have to do a lot of work to get there. So the remainder of this game went pretty quick. There are 9 more moves to play, but it is still going to be very interesting to cover because there's a lot of things still happening. He went f4 first, which is the best thing. And of course, yeah, once again, my opponent is a pretty good player. Honestly, like I mentioned before, I think if I played him again, I would have lost. So, you know, I felt throughout the game that he made more complex moves. He made more moves that I did not really understand during the game. Like the idea of f4. Why would you play f4? I mean, the idea is very simple. He wants to bring his rook, but I just didn't really take that move into account. So, you know, Okay, so f4, I went knight b6, which is okay. I could have maybe also went for a move like this, maybe. I don't know, is this a move? Rook b8, not the best move. It is a move, it's okay. But maybe it just goes here or something, and, you know, yeah. And there's not really any threat, I can't really take this. I mean, you know, I can maybe go here. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really look like I'm accomplishing a whole lot there. So, okay. So instead of that, I went for knight b6, and then he went for knight b5 check. I went for rook d7, and yeah, I mean, being pretty low on time here and playing a pretty difficult game with a lot of pressure from him. Rook d7 is the best move apparently, but it is very difficult to see why, and it is also very difficult to win this game. I mean, it's just very difficult. I mean, my pieces are just kind of, I mean, that's kind of silly, and this rook is still not doing anything, so, you know. So he went bishop d6, and yeah, this is not the best thing. He should have went rook d3, attacking this with tempo, or with tempo. I mean, attacking this with the queen and the rook at the same time. If I take this pawn here, for example, am I in trouble? No, apparently this is still playable. Okay. I mean, according to the engine, that was the best move. He played bishop d6, and I went knight d5, and he went king h1. And king h1 is what he, in hindsight, I think he told me that king h1 is in hindsight what he did wrong. Of course, the idea here is to maybe take this. Yeah, I mean, maybe take this. If he takes back with the bishop, I can take the bishop off the board, and then I would be pretty easily winning. I mean... So yeah, knight d5 and king h1, and he should have probably went here. I don't know if the engine prefers this. King g1. Okay, not really. What is the best move here? King f1. Okay. I mean, this looks very counterintuitive. Of course, who would have played king h1 in the, or king f1 in this position? Who would have played king h1? King h1 just feels much more natural. That you put your king in the corner of the board instead of aligning it with the queen. I mean, yeah, it just feels much more natural. If I go here, I mean, this is not a mistake, but maybe you can go here now. Yeah, exactly, something like that, and yeah. Then I have to probably go for g5 or something. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, none of that happened. He went king h1, and this move eventually lost him the game. So that's going to be interesting to see. I went rook g8, simply defending my pawn. I mean, it's probably not the best move, but you know, I was just trying to defend this pawn, and I didn't really know what to do here. I mean, there's not a whole lot of things I can do here. My king is kind of stuck, like I mentioned, and yeah. So, yeah, like I mentioned, my opponent, I just think in hindsight, my opponent just found much more complex ideas, and actually it didn't work out for him because I just barely held on during the end of the game here, but yeah, I just feel like he played it on another level. He was just a little bit better. He found better ideas, he found better things. I mean, yeah. I mean, I was obviously the one who won the game, but you know, sometimes you just notice that your opponent is playing very good, even though he's in trouble. Yeah, so rook g8, he went rook a3, and now it became quite difficult because one of the things that you are already kind of seeing that my king is completely cut off. I can't go here, and the fact that I can't go here, this rook is pinned. So I was looking at moves like this, but I can't play this, of course, because this hangs mate in 1, which is yeah, would have been quite a sad way to end an official game like this. So I can't go king d8, and this pawn is pretty much lost already. I mean, how do you even defend it? Can I go here? I don't know. Can I? No, this is a mistake. Okay. Not exactly sure why. Maybe this move? No. What is the mistake here? That's actually interesting. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really fully think about this. Okay, then you can go here. And then if I go here... What now? Do you just take here? Nope. Still can't do that because I take a free queen. Oh, you take her with the queen maybe. Nope. See, this is a very difficult position. Okay, now you just check. Okay, so you just repeatedly check. Yeah, okay. That's the draw. Okay. Yeah, so I can't go queen d4 apparently to defend the pawn. So I went queen d8. I should have went knight b6, which is just a very difficult move to see. I mean, the knight b6 is just a very difficult move to see because he can still take here, and I mean, this just, I mean, how can you see, I mean, like in this position, you have to see so if you're playing the game, you don't have an engine, of course, so you have to see somehow that you're winning. Somehow you have to see that this is still good for black, but I honestly, in a game, I could never see this. I think the move here was this, queen f5. Yeah, queen f5 is the only move here, probably. I can check the engine. Yeah, queen f5 is the only move. So the reason why knight b6 worked is because after this you have queen f5, and now you can't take this because then there is what was it? I think queen d5. I looked at this later. Yeah, queen d5. If you go here, now I can just maybe I can just take this with the rook. Maybe I can take it with the, yeah, apparently I can take it with the rook, and there's nothing here. Even this I can go back, and yeah. So yeah, very difficult way to calculate, something that I definitely I didn't even consider it. And the reason I didn't consider it is because after knight b6, I just saw that he can take here. I was just like, okay, why would I do this? And if I go here, I just lose a knight. So yeah, that is yeah, very difficult to see, very difficult to see. And I didn't see this at all. I didn't even consider it. So I played queen d8. Arguably not a very good move. The reason why this is not a very good move is because if after taking this pawn, he's threatening to somehow pin me in some lines, something like this, something like this. So that is exactly what he was trying to do. He took the pawn here, my rook still being pinned, so I can't take it. So this is just a free pawn. And yeah, now I got kind of scared because I was like, okay, I did all this hard work. I want to win this game. I need to win this game. And I played f5. And here my advantage went all the way back to 1.3. So yeah, very insane actually that I went. Very insane that I'm up 4 points in material here. He won another pawn, so I'm not up 5 points anymore. I'm up 4 points in material. And it is, positionally speaking, it is minus 1.3. So he had some drawing chances somewhere if he played this correctly. However, there was one minor mistake that he missed here. He played rook b7. So obviously rook b7, very interesting. The idea, of course, rook b8. I'm just simply pin my queen. And I can't go here because if I go here, I simply lose rook. And that's a check, and then I lose this, and now I can resign and go home and you know, cry. So once again, I can't do that, so I can't move the king yet. So what do you do here? I played knight e7. Apparently not the best move. The best move would have been g5, just completely ignoring everything, going g5, which is honestly insane. How does that work? I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Honestly, not entirely sure what's going on here. What do I even do here? Oh, I just go here and then just like this and play with 2 rooks. Yep. Okay. Yeah, but once again, I mean, how many people would see this? Okay, then you hang on, bishop. So yeah, I mean, once again, how many people would see this? Just simply just go g5 and hang your queen. I mean, not a very intuitive thing to do, so I didn't do that. I went knight e7. The idea is to go knight c8 and defend the pin. So after going bishop c7, this was his final mistake. In this position, he had to do one thing and one thing only. He should have played bishop b4. If he just played bishop b4 here, you're doing very well. And the reason is probably just to keep the tension. I mean, he honestly, he only missed one single thing. He only missed one single thing that did not win him the game here in the end. He missed that after bishop c7, I have one single move, and this comes back to why putting his king on h1 is a mistake. He should have put his king on f1. It is this move, queen a8. And he is now pinned, and he can't go rook b8. So my opponent played, I think he played king g1 here. Yeah, he played king g1 here. And now the funny looking move, king f7. And the reason this is winning is because if you take my rook, I take your rook. And if you go here, I simply take. So there's nothing anymore here. There's just simple. There's simply nothing. I mean, you're just down an entire rook now, and now my rook is finally into the game after 40 moves, and after all that sweat and tears, my rook finally gets into the game, and yeah. once again, I feel like my opponent just played a very good game here. I mean, honestly, like if you look at all the concepts that he tried to enroll during this game, I didn't really even consider a half of them. I think there were so many things that I missed, which he found. So obviously this didn't work out for him. It wasn't the best move, but the whole idea of putting your bishop here on this diagonal, it's just very good. I mean, honestly, it's not the best thing according to the engine, but it was very annoying, and it almost cost me the game. So, you know. And then after 95, I forked him, of course, and I was just doing very well. But yeah, like I mentioned, I still feel like if I would play this player again, I would probably lose. I would probably lose. Yeah, he found just some very nice ideas, and yeah, even f4, trying to bring his rook in the game. Yeah, it's just honestly I feel like he did a pretty good job. It just didn't work out, and I was very lucky to have queen a8. Very lucky to have queen a8. The only thing that won me the game. If I didn't have queen a8, let's say this entire position, like let's say he played, let's say I just played something. He just played. Let's say he. Okay, what can I just simply end? I can very simply. Let's see, how do we do this? I can't really move a piece without moving the rest, right? Can't I just simply... No, I can't. I can't do that, right? No, okay, I don't think I can do that. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. But let's say I just for fun, he goes here, I go here, he goes here, I go here. Now we get into the same position. And now bishop c7 is the best move, and he's winning. This is just winning. I mean, he's up, it's plus 1.2. He's just winning. If I go here, I'm losing my queen. So yeah, funny, very funny. Even though I still, so now I have to protect this rook as well. So I may, yeah. The problem with this position as well is because my rook is still pinned. Yeah, so a very difficult position. Now I can't just connect the rooks, because even in this position, material 2 rooks and a knight against a bishop and a queen is arguably somewhat equal. It is just it's very difficult for me still because I'm pinned. So I have to find some way to unpin myself, or you know, get back into the game. So yeah, a nice game. Hopefully you guys liked it, and I'm glad that I won this game, even though my opponent played very well. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.